Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your weekly reading here on Dove and Serpent Tarot. If you're watching this reading was meant to find you. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. All right, Eight of Pentacles. This is a week for focusing on those things in our life that nourish us. Right? That make us feel not good, better, right? So there's a difference because we take in a lot of things as nourishment that may feel good right now, but they're not actually making us better, right? So we have to be very aware of what sort of things we're and not just talking food either. Everything is food, right? Not only physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually, creatively. What are we taking in? What sort of things are we allowing into our life? Right? Because everything that we allow in, everything we take in is affecting us, is changing us in some way, is influencing how we're growing. Yeah. I think that you're a very health-conscious person, even if that means that sometimes we don't always make the right choices. I think there's an underlying awareness of what the right choices are. I think you can see which direction your life is going. Now, we're talking about health and well-being, and that involves financial health as well as physical, mental, emotional health, right? Everything. Not just the physical stuff, not just sort of our physical bodily health, but we need to be aware of that too. We need to understand what we're doing to our bodies. Are we so overworked or overcommitted to certain things that our physical body is sort of breaking down and we don't even notice it? Right? Are we in touch with our physical selves? Yeah. I mean, this is the vessel in which we've been operating for 20, 30, 40, 50, 120 years, you know. Depends on how old, I don't know how old you are. So we have to be aware of what we're doing to our bodies and our hearts and minds and souls, and how we can make the right choices for us at this time in our life. So this is a week, let's sort of focus on that. We don't have to make some big changes. We don't have to change the way we eat or anything this week, but we should at least be aware of what we're feeding ourselves on, right? Mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Let's put this card into a little bit of context, and let's see what's going on. We're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. Oh, there's the Wheel of Fortune. Look at that. Look at that. It's very nice. We have a Nine of Swords, sure. Two of Wands, very appropriate. Prince of Wands. And the Three of Pentacles. I like the Three of Pentacles because the Three of Pentacles is kind of saying, I'm going to do what works. I may have this ideal of what should work, of what I wish it could be, right? But the Three of Pentacles is kind of taking it back to the practical realm. The major arcana of the Wheel of Fortune is saying that we can improve exponentially, that we can get to the very top of the wheel. If we feel that we've been on the bottom of the wheel, you know, between the rubber and the road, we can change that. Spirit's saying it's time that we focus on what's going to lift us up, what's going to raise our vibrations, raise our health, you know. I'm not a doctor. This isn't a medical reading. We're talking spiritual well-being, right? But that trickles down, mental, emotional, physical. It's saying that we can have our ideal state of health. We have to be practical about it with this Three of Pentacles. We have to be aware of what works. What may have worked when I was 20 does not work for me now that I'm 40, that I'm 21, you know? So we have to be aware of that. bodies just don't move like they used to. Okay? But there is also the awareness with this Wheel of Fortune that you can still be in the best shape of your life. Now, again, I'm not just talking physical. I'm not a personal trainer, right? I'm not a doctor or a nutritionist or anything like this. But overall, we can still become the very best version of ourselves. We just have to learn what works for us now. What may have worked back in the day may not be the same things. We have to be able to adjust our protocols, adjust our methodology. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know in the comments, okay? We're going to finish up our Path of the Serpent here. We have a Seven of Pentacles. That's good. That's a good card to have. Hanged Man, yeah. Everything here, chain, yeah. Two of Pentacles. And look at that, Six of Cups at the end. Oh, the Six of Cups is, well, pleasure, right? And it's kind of saying, well, gosh, if I'm making all these changes and sacrifices, if I'm focused on health and well-being and, trying to be aware of how I'm nourishing my body, it really sounds like I just don't get to enjoy things anymore. It sounds like I'm just going to have to be very strict and never have a bowl of ice cream again in my life, right? But the Six of Cups is kind of saying that by focusing on our health, physical, mental, and emotional, spiritual health, our overall well-being in life, brings us more pleasure, more joy. We're increasing our capacity to feel joy, right? If we're maybe so overworked or stressed out that we're not, our physical bodies, or we're not taking care of ourselves like we should be, then we're not really enjoying the things that we're doing anyway. It's kind of like you have ice cream and, if you maybe enjoy it for the moment, but eventually if it upsets your stomach or if it just feels like it's just making you unhealthy, like I've eaten a lot of ice cream in my life, okay? It's my weakness. It's my kryptonite for sure, across the board. More than anything else, it's ice cream for me. And I've eaten so much ice cream at certain points in my life that I don't feel healthy anymore. It upsets my stomach, and then I'll have a bowl of ice cream and say, I really am not enjoying this. Why am I eating this? It doesn't feel good. It tastes good on my taste buds for a few minutes or seconds, but I don't feel good. I don't feel the pleasure of this anymore, right? And that's when our Six of Cups becomes a Seven of Cups. That's something that was supposed to bring us joy is now bringing us toxic energy. It's making us feel worse, not better. So focusing on health, focusing on this overall well-being, spiritual well-being, right? We're able to enjoy things a lot more. Yeah. I think this is very good. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith. Look at that. Look at the volunteer today. Well, this is uncanny. It's the Ace of Cups. There's your bowl of ice cream. I'm going to put that right over here on the Six of Cups for you. But we remember that this could become a Seven of Cups if we're not if we're not aware of how we're relating to these things, of how we're feeding ourselves on certain things in life. Okay? And I'm not just talking about food and ice cream. Okay? Now I want ice cream though. But no, this is about everything that we engage with in our lives. Okay? So our mystery card is just going to go right over here with Bubo, our mechanical owl. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together. Okay? And hopefully it'll give us the conclusion that we need. If you have a prediction, feel free to put it in the comments down below. Okay? I think we can do it together and exercise our intuition. I'm noticing here as I look around the room, we've got two major arcana energies. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Hanged Man. And I wonder if this is sort of saying that, look, if we're going to have this life of expansion, of growth, the best days are ahead of us, that this is unbelievable success. This is destiny. This is karma. This is our world getting bigger. This is our capacity for joy getting bigger. This is everything improving, and we're getting around to the top of that wheel, and we're on top of the world here, right? Why then do we have this card of suffering and sacrifice? Yeah. Why is it that we have to give things up in order to have more? That seems a little irrational, right? It doesn't seem that that really makes sense. It's kind of saying that, by giving up ice cream, I can have more ice cream. It doesn't make sense, but I think Spirit is really onto something here. And Spirit might be trying to show us that it is possible for us to have more joy in our life, to experience more pleasure, to have more really, really good days and true, deep joy in the things that we're doing, a deeper satisfaction, a deeper connection with the activities of our lives. If we learn what things in our life we need to give up, right? Or how we might be nourishing ourselves on things maybe disproportionately, or in ways that are not so pleasant. Okay? Sometimes we have to give things up in order to get more of that thing, right? Sometimes this card is about sacrificing the immediate gratification for the more long-term gratification. Sometimes this is about sacrificing the quantity for the quality. I could eat ice cream every day and not really enjoy it, or I could eat it once a week and love it and just be in ecstasy, right? I mean, it's ice cream. Come on, you know what I'm talking about. And so this is that idea of by sort of regulating or by giving things up, by suffering or sacrificing things now, we're actually increasing our ability to experience joy. Okay? So it's very interesting to see these two cards. And I think that if we're devoted to this sort of maximum fulfillment of life, we want to expand our horizon, we want to expand our consciousness, we want to expand our capacity to experience joy and pleasure and happiness and bliss in life, there are some things in our environment that we've got to recognize as being anchors. Kind of looks like an anchor, doesn't it? If we recognize the anchors and we can cut them loose, then we're free to grow. We have all this extra room to grow and expand our capacity for joy. We have room for things that we really do want to experience. But this card is here because sometimes in life we don't always have the choice. Or the choice is there, but it's really something that we're sort of obligated to do. Sometimes, we have to sacrifice our physical health for the sake of our job or for our other commitments. Very often life is about the sacrifices that we make. Every choice we make, we're sacrificing one thing for something else, right? And in that moment that you're choosing to eat something healthy rather than something unhealthy, well, you're sacrificing that immediate gratification of having something sweet and salty right now, And some of these sacrifices are worth it in the long term. I'm eating something healthy now, yeah, and then, down the road when it really matters, I can have this Ace of Cups. I can really enjoy myself, Sometimes to achieve mastery, we have to conquer the desire. And when we're at the beginning of a path like this, we sort of have to look at our desires as, and it's maybe a little bit of a Buddhist sense here, I guess. We have to look at all of these desires as so many chains, so many things that we really, do we have the capacity to say no to some of these things? You put a bowl of ice cream in front of me, it takes all my willpower to say no. Sometimes I do, and I have to say no sometimes, so that I can have more freedom to indulge, more freedom to have ice cream, right? Because I'll be in control of that desire, of that impulse, of that urge, right? So we have we have these major arcana in it. We have fire. We got our water here at the end, which is, I think, where it really matters. And then in between, we've got, we've got our air. We've got our earth, 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 and earth. So it really is about taking care of the earth right now in order to have more of this water. Okay, so in other words, this week it's really a focus on where do we feel pain in our bodies? Where do we feel pleasure in our bodies, right? Is there something that really doesn't feel good right now? Do we have aches and pains? Are we holding tension in our jaws or in our shoulders? Right? We have to understand, and what are we sort of doing to our bodies? Are we pushing them too far? Do we need a little bit of rest and relaxation? Maybe we've got this all wrong. Maybe this is not about you giving up the ice cream. Maybe for me it is, but maybe for you it's not about. Maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's the realization or asking yourself the question, when's the last time you had a bowl of ice cream? Maybe because the water energy came at the end. And then I think it's quite ironic that the Ace of Cups volunteered out of our mystery card pack. It's almost Spirit saying, Cancer, here, you need some ice cream. You deserve to have this ice cream now. So the Two of Wands and the Hanged Man, I think that maybe you have been sacrificing joy and pleasure for the sake of other things. And if we look at the Eight of Pentacles, maybe you've been on this really strict sort of path for a while because you know that it's leading to bigger and better things. You know that you are you're trying to have this prudence, this moderation, this patience, a slow, steady growth. You're looking to nourish your body and soul with the right things so that you can grow and achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. So that you can have true happiness and pleasure here. But maybe Spirit threw this Ace of Cups at you to say, hey, you know what? Have a bowl of ice cream now and again. Yeah, you've earned it. You deserve it. You've been very strict with yourself for a long time. In fact, one could say that you've kind of been punishing yourself by saying no to everything for so long. Have that bowl of ice cream, right? Don't let it become 20 bowls of ice cream every single night. But perhaps your body and your soul need a little bit of reward, a little bit of encouragement, right? You got a Nine of Swords underneath the surface. Inside, it feels as if you just kind of, the more strict you are, the more disciplined you are, the more you punish yourself, the stronger you get. Okay, this is someone that sleeps on a bed of nails and wears the hair shirt, thinking that they're becoming, more holy or more spiritual, or it's kind of it's based on this theory that a tree growing needs the wind, right? Because the tree will then have to adapt to that challenge and it'll have to get stronger. By challenging ourselves, we get stronger. By being strict with ourselves, by feeding ourselves the appropriate food but not too much, by being very moderate and prudent, right? Like that Eight of Pentacles. We're creating a very strong root system, very strong trunk in our souls. Okay? Just like the tree that's blowing in the breeze, and it gets stronger, becomes a really strong tree because it's had to sort of strengthen itself to withstand the wind. Too much wind snaps the tree. Too much self-denial or discipline breaks the soul, right? So we've got to be aware of this because there might be something else going on that kind of says, you're pushing yourself too hard, you're running yourself ragged. This isn't just for your growth and for your, your health and all this. There's something else going on under the surface that's kind of, that indicates a tendency to go to the extreme in that way. Okay? It's kind of like, you're in the gym for an hour a day, you lift a lot of good weights, good. Then you go home and you eat, you rest, you relax, you get a massage, you do all this good stuff. But no, you're in the gym for 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 hours a day. Like it's too much. You're doing yourself more harm than good, potentially. Okay? Again, I'm no physical trainer, obviously. So I think Spirit's throwing that bowl of ice cream at you. And I think Spirit's trying to say, you deserve it. Take a break. Take a rest. You've been pushing yourself very hard. Okay? So maybe this week it's time for us to recognize what we've been doing to ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and what we might need in order to sort of reward ourselves so that we can keep going, right? The Two of Wands is, of course, your decision. It's your will. It's your unstoppable sort of commitment to things. You say, I'm not eating ice cream anymore. And then that's it. It's like it's kind of like it goes beyond ice cream. It's no sugar at all. And then it becomes, well, there's no carbs at all. It's just, we're sort of going more and more extreme. Yeah. And this takes tremendous willpower. You're somebody that has the ability to sort of, to have that discipline. Yeah. You're establishing a lot of discipline in your life. And discipline is good. But so are those periodic releases from that discipline. It's just to recharge yourself. I think maybe there's this worry that if I break the discipline, if I stop doing it just for one moment, the whole thing's going to come crashing down. If I have one bowl of ice cream, it's going to turn into several bowls of ice cream every day of the week. Well, we have to remember that we can regulate that with our will. Okay. We have a Prince of Wands up at the top here, and this is that commitment. This is the idea that once you turn it on, it's going to keep going. And it's sort of, we build up this momentum in our lives. And, maybe we're not talking about physical health. Maybe we're talking about financial health. Okay? Maybe you've been very strict with the finances. You think if I just pinch every penny, then I'm going to build up this great wealth. And then I can finally enjoy my wealth, right? Spirit's throwing this Ace of Cups at you, saying, go buy yourself something nice. Go reward yourself by giving you a little taste of what that long-distance reward is supposed to be, so that you can remember why you're doing this, And then, of course, we've got that Three of Pentacles. It's saying we have to know what works for us. And I think in some ways, you've come to believe that the only thing that works for you is this all-or-nothing, very harsh, very strict discipline. I'm pinching pennies. That means I'm not spending a dime on anything. And that's how I'm going to amass my wealth, my fortune, that one day I can enjoy. Well, when does that day come, right? Maybe the Three of Pentacles is saying, maybe that method, we have to at least this week, I think, ask the question, does that method still work? Or do you need some sort of taste? Do you need some sort of reward to keep yourself going? Maybe when I was 20, I could have that hardcore discipline. Maybe now in my 40s, I can still have that discipline, but I need a break from it every now and again, just to keep it going. Because that's the idea here, is that we want to have this as a lifestyle of well-being, whether it's physical, financial, mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, all of it, right? We're branching out here. We're thinking of all the different ways that we can be healthy, that we can have this success and this expansion in life. The Three of Pentacles is also the realization that we need our heart, our mind, and our bodies to be working together, working in tandem, to all be functioning optimally. But if our heart is sort of running out of commitment, or our body is sort of breaking down, or our mind is just kind of getting disorganized or confused, the whole system will break down. We have to have all three components, right, in order for your will to be carried out. So we have to be aware of what we're doing to our bodies or our hearts or our minds. Because one or other of these three components might be feeling a little bit of discomfort. And that could lead to a sort of a bit of a breakdown, right? We think of a car. Every system of the car has to be working the right way. If one of the systems, if your transmission system, your engine system, your electrical system, any one of these things starts to break down, car no go. Yeah. So that's going to take us over to the path of the serpent and this Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is this perception that we can always be improving. You know, and I think this is a great way for you to look at life. There's always room for growth. There's always more I can do. There's always more improvement I can make. Let's ask ourselves this week if what we're doing in our lives right now, as far as our mental, emotional, spiritual, creative, physical, financial health, is working to grow this healthy life that we want, or if some things that we're doing are actually harming us in a way. Let's be aware of what we're consuming. What are we nurturing ourselves on? Maybe right now that bowl of ice cream, that Ace of Cups, is going to be the healthiest thing you can do for yourself. Yeah, I know it sounds odd, right? That's my kind of lifestyle. But we have to ask these questions. Yeah, because we're always looking at something as needing to be fixed, needing to grow, and there's always room for improvement. But I think we need to recognize, too, the improvement that you've already made. And to see if we can, one, maybe reward our progress. Yeah. But if there is something that we maybe think is helping, but it's not helping. Okay. The Seven of Pentacles with this Nine of Swords is really, I don't like that combination. Okay? Because it feels as if we're sort of punishing ourselves, thinking that our punishment is leading to our health and our growth and our well-being and our happiness and our ultimate pleasure, right? By denying ourselves so severely now, then maybe we'll get to enjoy something later on. Okay? I mean, I understand the logic there, but I think it can go to an extreme. The Hanged Man in the position of your environment is asking what things you need to let go of. What things are really dragging you down right now? And maybe these are anchors that are attached to our ankles. We think they're helping us, right? We think that by, you're wearing these lead shoes and you're trying to swim through the water. Okay, well, you're going to get real strong doing that, right? If you don't drown first. Okay, you're taking on all of these stressors, and the theory is that I'm going to get stronger by doing this, right? Yeah, but there's a point at which we start to tip over to harming ourselves instead of improving our health, right? We don't want to go from an 8 to a 7. And if we're always looking at things to be a 7, then we're just going to think, I'm not doing enough. I need to do more. I need to work harder, faster. I need to indulge in things less, right? I need to add more weight to the bar. I'm not doing enough, I think Spirit wants you to recognize how much discipline you have and how much progress you have already made. Yeah. And to find some joy in your life, to find out, really just to encourage you, yeah, to acknowledge what you're accomplishing. The Two of Pentacles in the position of what we don't want kind of says that you don't want to change what you're doing now, because in some ways maybe it just feels, I can't take this Ace of Cups right now because I haven't earned it yet. I'm not ready to take that yet. Okay. But we see a lot of physical things going on here that all are supposed to be leading to this greater enjoyment of life. Okay? Maybe for this week, Two of Pentacles means just sort of take a break, take a pause. You know, have a day or maybe the whole week where you just sort of, you know, like at the gym, they take a rest day. It's not really a rest. You don't really sit on the couch watching TV, but you just sort of do some light exercises. You just sort of, you take it easy, but you're still active and moving around and stuff, right? Maybe that's what we're being told here. Take a little bit of time just to kind of do some light activity, but use that time to really assess where you are and what your methods and tactics have been. Right? The Three of Pentacles is right in the middle of the table today. So this is really about the kind of like the tools that you've been using right now. Are they still the right tools? Maybe they were working before, but maybe now we need to add a little bit of rest into this. You know, I think everybody would agree when you're at the gym or something, you're on this very strict and very grueling physical fitness regimen. You got to have a rest day here and there, you know. And the Six of Cups at the end is that pure pleasure. These are the best days of our lives, right? And I think Spirit really wants you this week to feel joy and feel pleasure. And it's kind of like, you know, I can feel the resistance to that. I've got work to do. You know, I can't go out and spend money. I'm trying to build this. I'm trying to save money. And it's just kind of saying like we don't have to completely abandon our path or our work that we're doing, but I think we do need a little bit of reinforcement. We do need a little bit of encouragement. It's kind of the Three of Pentacles is sort of the balanced, let's say the balanced diet, right? The balanced utilization of nutrients, what we're feeding ourselves on. Okay. Because this is what it's all about. This is the idea here, is that we want to enjoy our life more. Okay? And I think we have to remember that this is why we started this whole thing. This is why we have the discipline. This is why we're observing ourselves and why we're trying to grow and why we're paying attention to the things that we're doing, the things that we're reading and looking at and watching and eating and all this stuff. The people in our lives, what we're interacting with, what we're taking into ourselves. We have to remember that we're doing all of that because we want to have a better life. We want to enjoy life. We want to have more of these peak experiences where I can eat the bowl of ice cream and feel the euphoria of having, you know, something pleasurable like that. But if we completely abandon the water energy altogether, what's the point of all of this? Okay. I think Spirit wants you to, you've earned it. Have that extra scoop of ice cream, right? Let's look at the mystery card. What is this going to be? I think we have a little bit of everything on the table now, right? So I don't know. Maybe it'll be more water energy. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments down below. Let's take a look. The King of Swords, the fixed air energy. The fixed air energy might be this idea that we're not losing sight of the purpose, right? We're fixed in the air. We're fixed in our belief. We're fixed in our truth. We're fixed in our understanding. Maybe we realize that there's a plan here. And so if our plan has sort of gone off the rails a little bit into these extremes, right, to where we're doing more harm than good, I think it's important that we're able to stick to the objective. Remember why we're here. What is the purpose of all of this, right? I think that this is also saying that, look, the King of Swords is fixed in their belief, in their understanding of something, right? So that they can have a bowl of ice cream and still be the King of Swords. You're still on this path. You're still committed. You still have the discipline. It hasn't derailed anything. Okay? This is a firm commitment and a belief in what we're doing. We're sticking to the plan, right? Even if you have that Ace of Cups, you enjoy your life, you have these sort of rest days or cheat days or whatever you want to call them, you're not abandoning the plan. It's part of the plan, right? Because you need that positive reinforcement that says, yeah, this is, I can still feel good. I can still have joy and pleasure. Even though I can still, I can still spend some money and buy myself something nice, or do something nice with my friends or family, or go out to dinner or whatever once in a while. I can still have those moments of joy and still be very strict and very aggressive in this plan, this long-term plan that you have. Yeah. We're going to do an extended reading. And if you want to stick around, there's a link up top. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer are on Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both readings. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It is totally free, doesn't cost anything. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.